If you are a gamer, then you might have noticed that sometimes you click but the image don't get hit or it hits somewhere else. Especially when this happens at the time of headshot, we are not able to take the best shot. Do you know what is the reason for this? Yes, you can call it lag. And this is where the concept of input lag comes from. Today, we will talk about what input lag is, why it happens, how it can be reduced, and even how it can be measured. If we look at Wikipedia, input lag or input latency is the amount of time that passes between sending an electrical signal and the occurrence of a corresponding action. Meaning, input lag is the time it takes for the computer to process your commands and convey them to the screen, speakers, or both. But the question is, why does this input lag occur? We all know that there are only two types of things in a computer, hardwares and softwares, and input lag is also caused by one of these two. If we look at it from the hardware side, many devices can be responsible for it, like mouse, keyboard, CPU, GPU, monitor, RAM, etc. If we talk about wired and wireless hardware, then input lag is negligible in wired hardware as compared to wireless. If we play games or type something with a wireless mouse and keyboard, we will easily see this difference. The reason for lag in the entire computer system is that there is a complete chain of hardware devices and all the devices have to process the input and send the output. That is why we can never reduce the lag to 0 milliseconds. First, the mouse, keyboard or gamepad processes your input and sends the output to the RAM or CPU with the help of the motherboard bus. Then, the CPU takes the input from the RAM or its cache memory, executes it and sends it to the graphics card or its own GPU to render the particular frames. Then, the GPU or graphics card keeps placing the picture frames in the render queue according to the game's algorithms and our inputs, and outputs each frame to the monitor or TV. And finally, the monitor or TV processes the input given by the GPU according to its response time, refresh rate, and resolution, and displays it on the screen. Nowadays, technology has advanced so much that despite having such a long hardware chain, the entire process can be done within just a few milliseconds. So, input lag is completely dependent on the configuration of the hardware and software. If a game or app is too powerful for your computer system or your PC does not meet the hardware requirements of that game or app, then it is common to have high lag. For example, if we look at the minimum hardware requirements of Adobe Premiere Pro, then for it to run smoothly, the PC must have all these or better hardware configurations. If your PC does not meet all these hardware requirements, then Adobe Premiere Pro will cause lag in your PC during editing, playback, and rendering. Similarly, if any game or app is lagging, you can reduce the lag by configuring its required hardware. An easy way to reduce lag is to keep Windows up to date, meaning whenever a new update comes, update Windows. By doing this, many bugs are fixed, security is also improved, and new features are also seen. Apart from this, there are many videos available on YouTube by watching which you can reduce the input lag by making necessary configurations in your PC. Let me tell you something interesting. You can also measure the minimum input lag in your PC according to your monitor. How? Let's see. For example, let's take a 60Hz monitor its theoretical refresh rate is 60 fps, which means the monitor can refresh 60 frames in 1 second. So, if it can refresh 60 frames in a second, then how much time will it take to refresh 1 frame? For this, we will do 1 second divided by 60 fps or 1000 milliseconds divided by 60 fps, because 1 second is equal to 1000 milliseconds, and we will get 16.67 milliseconds. And this would be the minimum theoretical input lag of that entire computer system. Similarly, you can tell me in the comments what will be the input lag of 120 Hz and 240 Hz monitors. 16.67 milliseconds is considered a good input lag time because this lag is negligible. Hence, almost all types of games could be played smoothly on a 60 Hz monitor. But input lag isn't just dependent on the monitor. The processing power of the CPU, how many cores and threads it has, SSD or HDD, how many GB graphics card, how many GB and which version of RAM, etc. also affect the input lag time. That's why even though the input lag of a 60 Hz monitor is 16.67 milliseconds, the input lag of the entire computer system increases to 50 milliseconds or more. That's why hardcore gamers who like to play games in extremely hard modes choose monitors with 144 Hz, 240 Hz or even higher refresh rates, so that the input lag of the entire computer system remains minimal and they can enjoy the game with complete satisfaction. So this was in today's video. I hope all your doubts related to input lag are cleared.